Welcome to the Playmakers podcast,
covering everything from youth sports to national sports in and around upstate New York. Let's go!
Welcome to the Playmakers podcast, episode 5. I'm your host, Derek Dyer, with
Mo Jackson.
Today, we have the quarterback and wide receiver duo from the Pittsford Panthers. We also have
Southwest Colts, Mighty Mike White.
Right.
Then we got a couple of the wide receivers from Greece Olympia.
Right.
We're also going to get into, of course, your Jackson 5 Playmakers of the Week.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. We got a lot coming for you this episode. But Mo, before we get into all of that, right?
Yep.
I recently seen, one of your Syracuse teammates up as a candidate for Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, playing with them, seeing him grow, being on your favorite NFL team as well,
Yep.
What's your realistic chance of him making the Hall of Fame this year?
Okay. First, we talk about my man Johnny 5, Donovan McNabb.
Donovan McNabb, baby. Shout out to Donovan McNabb.
We got to get you in here on the podcast, boy. Realistically, best football player I've ever played with.
Right.
Hands down. Best football player I ever played with. He made my job so easy. And do I think he'll get into the Hall of Fame? Definitely.
Yeah.
Do I think he'll get in this go around? Probably not, because they got some heavy hitters on the list with him.
Definitely.
It's a bunch of ballers that's up there. But do I think he deserves to be in the first round? He should have got in there last year. He was a candidate last year.
Yep.
But he put in the work, man. All-time leading passer, most touchdowns, yards, all that for the Eagles, right?
Yep.
And he's a winner.
Yeah.
He's a proven winner.
Yeah.
But like I said, they got some heavy hitters going in with him this year. So he might not make it this year, but hopefully he'll get in next year,
right.
or the next time he's up for the gold jacket.
Right. I'm looking forward to him getting in, man.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a big thing for Syracuse. It would be a big thing for the Eagles, but also it'll be a big thing for a lot of aspiring black quarterbacks, right?
Absolutely.
I know in our era that was the guy, right? That was the guy before the RG3s, before the Lamar Jackson, before Michael Vick.
Yeah, definitely.
It was Donovan McNabb. He paved the way. So I think it would be big for what he's done culturally for him to get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that'll be huge, man. And it'll help out again with a lot of the up and coming black quarterbacks, guys that they get labeled as runners. Right off the bat, right? They get labeled as running quarterbacks, but Don changed all that.
Yeah,
he came in, he sat back in the pocket when he needed to, and he took off when he needed to. But it helped us win ball games. That's the only thing that matters.
Right.
So hold that against our young black quarterbacks. I say y'all go out there and do what y'all got to do to win the football game.
Whatever
you
got to
run, you run. If you got to sit back in there in the pocket and deliver the ball, sit back in the pocket and deliver the ball. Work on it all.
Right.
But Don, I think he should get in eventually. Maybe not this go around, but definitely. I'm more worried about if I'm gonna survive the party we gonna have, because we gonna party. It's gonna be crazy.
That's a fact.
I'll meet everybody at Club 44 in the dome, and we gonna get it going. But shout out to you again, Doc. Good job in your career, my man.
Definitely shout out to Donovan McNabb, man. We're looking forward for you to put on that gold jacket. Stay tuned to the rest of the episode. We got our interviews coming up next. Playmaker Podcast, episode 5.
We working.
Welcome to the Playmakers Podcast. I'm your host, Derek Dyer, with Maurice Jackson.
Fellas, today we are interviewing Pittsford's wide receiver quarterback combo. We got Matt LaRocca and we got Jackson Westfall. Did I say that right, Ron? Okay, cool.
Thank you, fellas, for coming.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Now we're gonna jump right into the interview. These guys, coming out to visit us at the Playmakers Podcast. We appreciate you coming.
You jump right into it. So, I look at y'all as an interesting dynamic. Both you guys transferring into a program. I really want to know, how was y'all transition and transferring in? You didn't start as a freshman at Pittsburgh. You both transferred in. New coaches, new atmosphere, new school, new friends. How's been that transition for you first, Jackson, doing it this year and transferring into a Pittsburgh program that's trying to take it to themselves to new heights?
Personally, I've lived in Waterloo in middle school my whole life. So I was a little nervous going in, but My first day, I felt like I was a part of the team my whole life. You know, they welcomed me as brothers, the players, and the coaches, so it was a pretty smooth transition.
Nice. What about you, Matt?
You know, just like you said, it wasn't easy first coming to Pittsburgh. You know, all new people, new coaches, but the coaches were really able to bring me in, and I was able to meet a couple of my teammates early before the season.
Nice.
And they helped me show around, you know, meet all the other kids on the team. And so it just made it way better and easier. And that's what I kind of did with Jackson here. You know, I brought him in, showed him everything that I was shown and what to do, what not to do, you know, just the basics.
And that's how you start a tradition. That's how you keep a program going, right?
Get them bonding early and
right.
Take it from there, right? Good. Well, obviously you guys got off to a rough start. You know, beginning of the season, you dropped two games early, but you since turned it around. What's the one thing that you think, you know, jump-started that? What's one thing you think happened to help you guys turn things around and win your last 2 games?
Well, just want to let you know that, like, before every game, the day before every game on Thursday usually, we have team dinners where, you know, they give us pasta and stuff, and then at the end, we all get up and speak about, you know, last week and like upcoming weeks to, you know, that we're about to play. And, you know, a couple of us got up there and really talked, and being 0-2 added a different kind of emotion to the atmosphere. And yeah. And so I remember getting up there, you know, telling them, you know, you never know when your last play is going to be, you know. You go out there one play and tear your ACL the next second. So just got to play every down like it's your last, and, you know, give it all you got.
Yeah, absolutely. When you get guys to buy into that message, it seems to light a fire. You know what I mean? It seems to light a fire. So congratulations to you guys turning it around. Hopefully you can keep it going and you know, rack up some more check marks in that win column. Right. Now jumping into getting to know you guys a little bit better. Jax, I've seen you work and seen how hard you work. I've personally been training Jackson since the sophomore year, I want to say. And of course, we've seen a ton of growth. You know, I like to take all the credit for that, but this kid is probably the hardest worker I've ever seen in my life. You know, he's eager to train, he's eager to learn, and he wants to be the best. So my next question is, what's your motivation? What for both of you? What gives you that go and that drive to push and keep going?
Honestly, I think it's my dad. He's a really hard-working guy. He runs his own business, and you know, we'd be out lifting every night, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, grinding every day over the summer. And he pushes me really hard, but I want to play football, so I think he's really the main reason why I go so well.
Yeah, it's always great to have him around. You know what I mean?
Right.
For a reason. Same question for you, John.
Yeah, kind of same with me, except for my older brother Todd. He grew up in Rochester, went to Bishop Kearney, very successful. And I remember just every Tuesday, Thursday, going out to different programs, different camps, and you know, really working hard, just become the best that we could, you know, be. And when he went off to Seton Hill for his sophomore year, he got medically disqualified due to a concussion. And I remember him talking to me, and you know, he talks to me all the time, saying that, you know, you don't understand what you're missing until you can't play the game of football.
Absolutely, definitely.
And you know, I really took that to heart, and you know, I just try to work my best to, you know, stay injury prone and just keep on going, you know, the best I can.
Yeah, I definitely feel where you're coming from there, man. You know, being in the game for so long, you know, like you said, you never know what you're missing until you can't play anymore, until it's taken away from you. And you know, we've all been there with injury, right there.
Yeah, man.
You know, so when it's taken away from you, you know, especially with an injury, you forget to feel like what it feels like to be normal, to have your normal body.
Yeah.
But then when the game is stripped from you, it's a whole different ballgame. You know, things start going around in your head. But you know, those are two really good, you know, motivational pieces for you too. And I hope those, you know, your brother and your father, kudos to them, hats off to them for, you know, putting that drive in you guys. Because you know, you guys are very hard workers.
You know, it's always good to see a purpose, right? Like, it's one thing to just get out there and strike the helmet. Everybody do that. But what's your purpose, right? What's going to make you want it more than the other player? right? And for you, it's your dad, and for you, it's just, you know, I'm playing for my brother. You know, he can't do it anymore, so I'm out here doing it for him. You know, like, that's a big purpose, and that'll carry you over the hump. You know, that will separate you from a normal player. So carry that with you guys, and carry it in life. I'm not even talking about just sports. In everything that you do, carry that purpose with you, and you'll be successful.
Yep, for sure. I want to switch up the podcast's format for a second. Derek, let's answer that question, man. I want to see what your motivation was.
My motivation,
because you played some high level football, Division I program, and you made some plays in high school, so you had to have some kind of drive. What was your motivation?
I just wanted to prove everybody wrong.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I never played Pop Warner. I didn't play football until I was a sophomore. I was 15 years old the first time I strapped on a helmet.
Wow.
I played DN my first 2 games with some big cloud cleats, and I just looked goofy. And I just wanted to prove to everybody that I could play. And being at Marshall, coming behind Mo Jackson and Chauncey Leslie, you know, wide receivers like that went on to play Division I, you know, and I'm looking like I gotta be the next one. It gotta be me. And so I just worked, and I made sure that everybody in Section 5 and everybody in the city that I played against knew me.
We definitely heard you.
Yeah, man.
I heard you all the way in Syracuse, or wherever I was when you were playing, but you made some noise, and everybody's like, Derek's out there making plays again. So and for me, my motivation was I felt like I was given a gift. You know, it was a God-given gift. I was fast. I was always the fastest person on the field, and I didn't want to waste it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I got this gift, and I felt like I was different. I felt like it was something that I had different from everybody else on the field, and I really didn't want to waste it. So I took that, and I said, I'm going to take this thing and let it take me as far as it could. You know, and I worked on it and worked on it and worked on it. When I got to college, I'm like, okay, I'm small. I'm the smallest kid here. I got to be the fastest. And that was my motivation. I got to be the fastest. I got to make a play every game. So I had that kind of motivation for myself. But that's a pretty deep question. You're thinking about that. What was your motivation in playing this game? It's a crazy game.
It's a crazy game.
It's a crazy game, so you got to be motivated. All of us are a little nuts.
You got to be play football.
You got to be nuts. All right.
So I want to ask you a question. Lighten it up a little bit, right, guys? What's your favorite football player and why?
My favorite football player probably Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly.
You know, I didn't grow up.
Second Jim Kelly. Right.
I didn't grow up watching him or anything.
Right.
But, my dad did. He was his favorite player, and he told me all about him. How led his team to the Super Bowl or whatever. And even though it didn't end how he wanted it to, he kept on going, and he always has that drive.
Right.
And even today, I mean, battling all the cancers he has, he still fights.
He's a brawler.
And I just look up to him and just think like, wow, this man is really the kind of man I want to be when I'm older. No matter what he's going through, he's always positive, always making a change in the community, and
that's Jim, man. I met him a couple times.
Me too, man.
And he is a tough guy.
Yes, man.
So God, prayers out for Jim Kelly. Hopefully you can pull through everything you're going through.
We fight
That's a great guy.
So that hold on, that's a good one, right? Because I watch you play.
Yeah.
I watch you play.
That's a good
one. The way you play is like take no prisoners.
Gritty.
I'm gritty. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to make my team. If I gotta run this middle linebacker over to get this first time, I'm gonna run this middle linebacker over. Right, So that's a great comparison because I see the characteristics in you. The way you're never gonna quit. You're always gonna fight, and your team rallies around you. So that's a great comparison.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Jackson.
My favorite player is definitely Odell Beckham.
Nice.
It's just so fun to watch.
Yeah.
Anytime the ball's thrown to him or even handed off, he might take it to the house.
Right.
So electric, and he's just fun to watch.
Right.
Yeah.
And I see some of that explosiveness in you, man. How you just go get it.
See that comparison? Jackson has some, he can catch the ball.
Right.
That's one thing about, hopefully I didn't just jinx him and anything like that, but he can catch it, and he works to make those kind of catches.
Right.
So you can see that comparison as well.
So Jackson, let me give you a little insight, right? We tall receivers, right?
Yeah.
Our catch radius is ridiculous, right? Use them hands off that line. Right? When they press you, you hit them first, man. Get them right off you. And trust me, they'll back up. You're fast and you're strong. So once they feel that punch to that chest, trust me, they're going to give you 7 yards. They're going to give you 7 yards.
Good stuff. Yep. Now, jumping back into it, getting to know you guys a little bit more. Let's have some fun with some football, right? Using some realistic numbers. What's your dream game stats? Let's start with you, man.
So me, all right. Dream stats, I would say, probably 3 throwing touchdowns, maybe 1 or 2 rushing.
Okay.
I like to spread it out. I like to be a dual threat quarterback. To where defense don't know what to do. And probably like 300, 400 yards, and 100, maybe a little above rushing.
Yeah. Okay.
Just really push the numbers, and I don't want to set my standards too high because I know what I'm capable of.
Yep.
And I know that, the teams that we're going against in AA, a lot of them aren't bad enough to put up all these numbers. But I like to keep it realistic and just go out there and play my best. I don't really look at numbers that much. Maybe after the game, during the game, I'm not thinking like, oh, let me kill this team. Let me get my rushing yards up or passing yards. I just focus on winning first. Do whatever it takes, and however it comes out.
There you go. Yeah. Good stuff. So 300-400 yards, few passing,
100-yard rushing.
I like it. We'll take the game.
Right.
Jackson, say your dream stats.
I'd say about 10 to 12 catches, all 3 of his touchdowns. 250, 200 yards.
Yeah. Couple spectacular catches.
Right. Jackson said, this game is a reality.
I like it. I was asked that question when I was going to college. I think by one of the Syracuse coaches, and I said something crazy like 20 catches or something.
Right. Yeah. They're way more humble than I am up here. I just said 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, we won 190. I said something crazy. 7 interceptions. I do all like this fast.
That's good. Good stuff. So last but not least, of course, we got to talk about the academics. Yep. Getting in, senior year, right, Jax? Senior year too. Academics. What's your current GPA around right now? I don't know if report cards came out yet. What's your current GPA, and what do you see your major being in college? If you have one.
My GPA is a little over 3.5. I haven't really calculated that much, but it's not bad.
Nice.
And cause my dad is always pushing me, my mom's always pushing me, always making sure that academics come first. Because kind of like how I said earlier, if something happens, tear ACL, or where it comes to a point where you can't play the game of football anymore, you always need a backup plan, and the backup plan is academics.
Definitely.
And just really going to school and everything is a grind, just like football.
Right.
And get up early in the morning. You just gotta think. It's just like practice. You just gotta keep pushing, keep grinding it out. So
You got the college mindset right now.
That's good. And that's the biggest thing, man.
Right.
Going at it like that.
Yeah, man.
It's another part of life. People don't really understand the juggling act that we have to
The grind.
take on.
Yeah,
going
man.
and being a college football player.
Especially at a level of D1 or D2, even some Division III levels.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
It's
grind.
like
You
a
really,
boot camp.
you working. It's
Yeah.
really you working. You up at 5 a.m., to lift, and you're not going into your house until 10 after study hall.
Exactly.
So it's a grind, but you got the mindset. That was good.
What's you got a major in mind, or what do you like to pursue?
right now I'm thinking business, either marketing, accounting.
Okay, nice.
I'm good with numbers, and someday my goal is to be able to own a business and be the boss, not work for anyone, and that's my main goal. But it's just all these little steps, and I know that football here is going to help me. Even if I don't make it all the way as I want to. There's a lot of aspects of football that add into your daily life when you're older, and
Most definitely.
Not even that, just the connections. Right? The connections. These are your brothers. They never gonna forget you. You're gonna have them for life.
Definitely.
So just the connection.
I always say that's the best part of my football career.
Absolutely.
With the guys that I met.
Absolutely.
I always tell it like this, playing football I can have a flight canceled in almost any city in America, and I got a brother not too far away where he come get me and I can stay at his house for the night. Yeah. You know, I play a lot of football, so but you know that's you know what you get from this game, things like that. The relationships that I got from this game far more valuable than any awards, any money, anything like that. Absolutely. Yeah. So same question for you, Jax.
Generally have a 3.6 GPA.
Nice.
Nice. I took my SAT over the summer. I got a 1200.
Nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. When I go to college, I want to major in business. Just like my dad.
Nice.
He runs his own business, and I like Matt said, I like to be my own boss. You know, control my own destiny. If I want to work hard, you know, go make money. If I want to stay in bed, stay in bed.
Right. That's a good Hey man, I think there's something to it, man. Like almost all of our playmakers that we brought in here, business.
Yeah.
There's something about the numbers and business. I mean, I don't know. Something. Right. I don't know what it is.
I like it.
And the same thing I'm gonna say, shout out to the parents, man.
Definitely.
The role models, the parents, the guidance counselors, you know, anybody who injects positivity into these guys' life. For sure. Thank you, man. And you can see it paying off. These are great, humble guys.
Yeah, and being behind your kid, you know, academically as well as with the athletics. I know, you know, for Jackson, he's been working with me for a couple of years now, and his parents drive him to Rochester and back from Waterloo.
Right.
You know, every time we get together, and it's like, you know, probably 3 times a week, 3 or 4 times a week sometimes. So, you know, again, hats off to the parents. You know, you guys make the world go round.
Absolutely.
For these guys.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Thank you.
But I want to thank you guys for coming out. Wish you much luck this week. Your next contest. And who's it against? Penfield.
Homecoming.
Friday night, huh?
Yep.
7 o'clock at Pittsford.
Pittsford.
All right. Good luck, guys, and go get them.
Right. Good luck, fellas. Thank you for coming to the Playmaker podcast. We working.
Welcome to the Playmakers podcast. I'm your host, Mo Jackson, here at the MJ School. We have my alma mater here today, where I started playing football at Southwest Colts. We got our Southwest Mighty Mike White team here. We got Giovanni Williams, running back and cornerback here. And we got James Mobley Jr. Say what's up, fellas. James plays running back, defensive tackle, and cornerback. And then, of course, we got the man, the myth, and the legend on the end over there, Coach Boopy. Yep, Coach Boopy's been working with these kids, man, doing a great job and showing them the winning way of Southwest. Of course, it's only one way to go when you got the blue and gold on, and that's the winner, right, boys? Yeah. That's right. So, of course, at the Playmakers podcast, we want to bring the boys in, interview them, get to know them a little bit better, so they can go out and show their teammates that, you know, they came and got interviewed. It was at the MJ School, and we talked about some stuff. Loosen up, man. You all right? All right, cool. I bet you we had Fortnite out here. You can loosen up. You play Fortnite? How many kills you got?
A lot.
You good at Fortnite? Yeah? Okay. I bet I got more than you. You just give me the broad raise. All right, we're going to let you know. Right. How many kills? You play Fortnite? Yeah. How many kills you got?
I know a lot.
A lot? You got a lot? Yeah, I can tell you got a lot. You stay up past your bedtime playing Fortnite? I know, because your daddy ain't having it. I know your dad. Well, let's jump into some football. So right now, what's your record? You guys winning some football games?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the record? You won all of them?
Yeah.
Okay, did anybody score on you yet?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
We almost lost the first game.
You almost lost?
Yeah.
And what was the score? You remember?
Wasn't it like
Don't you remember?
20?
13, 14.
13, 14, you won by 1 point.
Yeah.
So it was a barn burner.
Came back 1 minute to go.
1 minute to go and got the victory?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like it. So, just getting to know the boys a little bit better. Now, Giovanni, you've been playing for Southwest for how many years? 2? Is your second year playing? Is it you having fun out there? Yeah? It's the best team in the city, right? Yeah. Of course. Now, Giovanni, when you're playing football, or when you're watching football, who's your favorite football team to watch? And who's your favorite player? The Steelers? All right, Coach Boo, give us the recipe, my man. We know you got the recipe for success with youth football. You've been winning since you stepped foot on the Southwest football field, and the kids absolutely love playing for you. So what's the recipe?
I've been rapport with the kids, and they pick me back that way on the field.
Yeah, okay.
On and off the field, actually.
Right. It makes perfect sense, man, because when people see a booby coach team, they come out there to watch you guys play, they see you getting the kids ready to go early. They see that every kid on the team is locked in and ready to go. And that's number one for a coach. You got to get the kids to play for you, right? You got to get them to want to perform. If you got kids out there that don't want to be there, then it's a different story, right? So, of course, I take my hat off to you and the things you've been doing, man. Keep it going. We all see it, even though you might not get recognized as much as you should. If you're looking for a coach that's going to motivate your kid and get him to love the game, and that's what it's all about. It's a game, and getting these kids to love the game. Boopy's the man, of course, when we talk about, getting these kids to love the game. Now, does Coach Boopy coach y'all pretty hard? Is he tough on y'all? Mm-hmm. Is he fun to play for? Yeah. He make you mad sometimes? Does he yell too much? Yes. Okay. You can say it now. He can't punish you for saying it now, so you can say it if he does. Okay, good. He said yeah, he said no. He's just a little tough. Yeah. But yeah, so the Southwest Colts, man, they've been around forever. Like I said, I started with the Colts, and we like to, bring the guys in and show them what it's like to be recognized and playing football, and of course for a great organization. I wish y'all all the best this year. Anything you want to add? Let's back up. The most important part of football. Second most important part. School. How's your grades? Good? You get good grades in school? Kinda? Well, we gotta clean that up, right? Because I always talk to kids about grades in school, and the best way to be a really good football player is to have all distractions taken care of, right? Mm-hmm. In football, you got to have a clear mind to go out there and practice and perform at your highest level. So if you're, messing up in school and your mom is keeping you out of practice because you ain't doing your homework, then that's taken away from you being a great football player, right? So the number one thing we got to do is take care of the things off the field so we can go on the field and perform at our highest level and getting things done the right way, right? Mm-hmm. So when y'all leave here, we're going to make sure that we go to school and get the best grades, so we all get perfect straight A's, so that we can come to the MJ school and practice and have no distractions, right? That's the way to do it. That's the only way to do it. It's the only way I made it to the NFL. It's the only way Coach Dyer made it to a Division I football program. We didn't have any distractions. And plus, if I didn't get good grades, my dad had me in the house holding books up like this for punishment and stuff.
Oh, we don't do pop-ups in schools.
Oh yeah. See, Coach talking about, paying them back off the field. That's the best compliment you can give a coach, and paying them back off the field. Getting those good grades, so again, he doesn't have to worry about you missing practice or missing the game because your parents held you out because of grades, right? So that's like number one in our book, to get those grades so that when football ends, we can still have fun in life and doing what we want to do, right?
What's our 3 keys?
Football, school, and home.
Say it again.
Home.
What's first?
Football.
No.
Home.
No. School, football. School, home, football.
3 keys. I love it. What is it? Home, school, football? School, home, football. I love it. You know what that brings? That brings to me? That brings a speech that I like to give kids like y'all. We talk about trust, right? Trust is the biggest word in football. Your coach has got to be able to trust you, that you're doing your job on the field. Your teammates got to be able to trust you that you're doing your job off the field, so that your parents can allow you to play, right? So trust is the number one thing that you can earn when you're talking about playing football. So when you leave here today, you always just keep that in the back of your mind, trust, right? I got to make sure my coach and my teammates can trust me. Every aspect of life, right? Yeah. So I appreciate you boys coming in. Who's your next contest against, Coach?
Dolphins.
The Dolphins.
Yes.
All right. What day and time you got?
12 o'clock at Douglas.
12 o'clock at Douglas on Sunday?
Yes, the Big 'em Up tour.
All right.
Mo, real quick, both of these guys is in the AB game too.
Okay. That's right. AB's All-Star Game alumni. Shout out to the AB squad and their what they got going on. It's a huge event. It's great for the city, great for the kids. You guys keep working so you can keep making that team and playing in that game. That's an awesome event that they put on for y'all. And the NJ School will be a part of it from here on out. So congrats again, fellas. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate your time.
Look out for the entrances this year too for the AB.
Yes, sir.
You already
Coach,
know.
I appreciate you coming through,
Thank you,
man.
sir.
Anytime you want to come through, we're always here. The door is open.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Playmakers podcast. I'm your host, Derek Dyer. I'm here with Greece Olympia's own wide receiver duo right here. We got Scotty Parr and Kadeem Walker. Welcome, fellas. Thank you for coming to the podcast.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. So we'll jump right into the interview. You know, both of you guys are hardworking young men. I've seen you both work hard. I've seen you basically, blood, sweat, and tears on the field trying to get on the craft. What have you done during this off season to get you better and ready for this season at Olympia?
Well, I feel like as an individual, I feel like I gotta do whatever I do. Because me being short, I gotta give it all, no matter what. Even the coach told me to play me on. Like I feel like I had to get faster, get stronger, make sure my hands are consistent, and build the chemistry with my quarterback. That's the main thing. Build chemistry with my quarterback.
So where did you work out this off season?
I worked on that. Because I worked out a lot of places. Worked out at NLB, worked out at Mo Jackson School. That's my cousin. Shout out to him. Shout out to my team, CTC. We grind together every day. And I worked out anytime I came with my dad made food.
Nice. Scotty, same question to you.
Alright, so I feel like what I did over the off season was I worked out my quickness, my route running, and my hands, making them consistent. And I worked at CTC, NLB, and MJ School.
Right. So first, congratulations on your first win of the season. I know both of you guys stood out and made plays during that game. Name me some players who helped contribute to that win that might not have gotten the recognition.
Man, it's a lot, but I just want to say shout out to my boys on the line. They not the ones catching the passes, running. They the ones that's at the line when the ball got to get snapped, fighting with the dudes across from them, putting their bodies on the line no matter what we play. Even when we score, I go celebrate with them first because they the ones out. They're the backbone of the team.
Absolutely. What about you, Scotty?
My quarterback, Alon Jenkins, and my middle linebacker, Mike.
Nice. So, fellas, switch the tone a little bit, get to know you a little bit better. Who's your favorite player of all time and why?
My favorite player is Patrick
Peterson. Nice. Why?
Because I feel like him playing defense, he a playmaker, and with him being 6 foot and he's tall and all that shit, he make plays no matter who he playing against. No matter if it's a 6'5" receiver or a 5'9" receiver, he's going 100 and he giving you his 100 no matter what. At the end of the day, he giving his 100. Yeah, that's about it.
Nice. What about you, Scotty?
Mine is Julian Edelman because he's quick, he's persistent in his routes in his hands, and yeah.
Hey man, that's I think that's creeping in my top 5 as comparisons. Julian Edelman, I can see it, Scotty. The way your quick twitch ability, the way you find yourself open, the way you can get open in little spaces, your hands, the way you catch everything with your hands, I definitely see it. That's a very good comparison. So to flip on the school note, right? Currently, what's your GPA and what's your favorite subject? I know, Scotty, you're a sophomore, and Kadeem, you're a junior, so y'all still got some time to start thinking about the next steps, college and things like that. But outside of sports, like I said, your current GPA and your favorite subject in school.
My GPA is a 3.4 somewhere around there, and my favorite subject is English. I feel like using English helped me with a lot of social things that I do in life, and it prepared me for what I got to do in life, no matter what.
Scotty?
Mine's about 3.42. and my favorite subject is math.
Nice. There's a correlation. I'm telling you, man. It's business, it's math, it's teaching, English. I mean, it's something, when I see those playmakers talk about those subjects, it's something about that, right? You want to know about your numbers, you want to be self-sufficient, you want to help people, right? That's the thing when you talk about business, and you talk about English, and you talk about teaching, that's the core of it, right? So I personally see both of these guys, I've yelled at both of these guys as coaches from a coach on the sideline, and I've seen both of these guys grow from, you know, Scotty 2 years ago coaching you at 7-on-7, Kadeem coaching you seems like 6-7 years ago, it seems like. And one thing I can always say, they have great parents. They have awesome family foundations that will do anything for them, take them anywhere, but also hold them to the fire. I know on both sides, you know, they don't got those 3.4s because, you know, they wake up every day and they're doing it just without being told. I know that there's parents in the background that's making sure that they're doing everything the correct way. And I know that your parents on both sides have both put you in positions to do the best things, you know? So I want to say, for y'all to say right now, thank you to your parents.
Thank you.
Right, give mom some love, man. They deserve it. So, Greece Olympia, this weekend, we got Churchville Child, where? Homecoming.
Saturday, 2 o'clock.
Saturday, 2 o'clock at Greece Olympia. What?
It's their homecoming.
Their home Churchville. Oh!
Yeah.
Those are the best games.
Yeah.
I love being the away team for their homecoming. But guess what? I get to party on your field in front of all your friends. so good luck. One thing I have to ask y'all. Now, me, Mo, we both, and Eddie, all three of us have played for Coach Mo, right? Y'all play for Coach Mo, right? How is it? Because I know Coach Mo holds you accountable. He helps groom young men. So how is it playing and being mentored, basically? Because that's what Coach Mo is really all about. Coach Dobie and Coach Mo. How is it playing for Coach Mo?
It's not easy, but they doing it just for love. Cause they came back to a school in which they gave their blood and tears for it. And playing for them, you gotta be A1 student, A1 player, A1 human. Like everything you do gotta be good, because everything you do reflects on them. So you reflecting bad on them, it reflects bad on everyone else. But playing for them, football fun, no matter what. The running that we do, the scrimmaging, no matter what, it's fun. They make it fun for me. Coach Eddie gotta be one. They gotta be top 10 coaches out there. He really helped me out. Like social wise, he really helped me out. Like I never thought I met a person like that. Other than that. Yeah, Coach Dobie half of Coach Eddie, but yeah, he a fun level coach. He a fun level coach.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he said. You know, they're high flying offense, fast forward. He's a good coach.
Yeah. Listen, I've been through many of practices with Coach Mo, Coach Eddie, and Coach Dobie. And if you're not ready after their practices, you're not ready to play football. So I know once he was going back home, I was excited for him because I knew that's where his heart was, and I knew that he would give his all back to his alma mater. So you guys have a great opportunity to be coached by, like you said, I feel like he's one of the top coaches in the area as well, and he's been that way for a long time. So like you said, you've learned a lot, take a lot from that, right? Take a lot from that, because both of those men are there for you, for both of you guys, and both of them are there to help cultivate young men. They're bigger than football, both of them. So shout out to the Longs, always, man. Thank you. Hats off to y'all as well. Kadeem, Scotty, good luck this weekend. Thank you for coming out to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
You're working.
Welcome to the Playmakers Podcast, Episode 5. This is your Jackson 5 Playmakers of the Week. We're going to jump right into it. Start coming in at number 5, Jaden Castricini, making the list for the second week in a row. Jaden went out there and put up 235 yards rushing, added 2 touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown, and also capped the game off with a game-winning interception. Shout out to Jaden for making the list 2 weeks in a row. Looking to see what you do next week, my man. Grayson Zanelovich of Wayne. Grayson, he went 17 for 22, 270 yards with 5 passing TDs. If that ain't playmaking, I don't know what is. Colton Dillon, 16 carries, 191 yards at the quarterback position. He threw 4 touchdown passes. Nope, he ran for 4 touchdown passes and threw for 2. So that's 6 total. That's playmaking in my book. We got Penyan's Will Rogers making the list again for the second time. He went 20 for 28, 370 yards and 5 TDs. It's a lot of points. Keep it up, my man. And then, of course, coming in at number 1, last but not least, Aquinas' Tyler Zelkowski. I got that right, Tyler. Tyler Zelkowski. Tyler went out there, went 23 for 28. My man had 484 yards and 7 touchdowns. He threw for 7 TDs in one game. That's got to be a record. But Tyler, you know me, I know you. It's a playmaker, my man. Keep it up. You got 2 full weeks of the MJ School working out with me, myself. We're going to get you some nice Playmakers podcast gear along with some MJ School gear. And we're looking forward to having you back in here for your very own interview about your dynamic week you put up, 7 TDs. You got to go out there and repeat it. That's your Jackson 5 Playmakers of the Week from the MJ School and Mo Jackson. We working.
Welcome back to the Playmakers podcast. Just to recap this episode, we wanted to say thank you to the Pittsford Panthers student athletes that came out. Who else we had on the show?
Also, the Southwest Colts, Mighty Mike White and Coach Goopy.
Absolutely.
Thank y'all for making it over.
As well as Greece Olympia student athletes that dropped in as well.
Definitely. And again, another shout out to the Jackson 5 Playmakers of the Week.
Absolutely.
Now we wrap up this episode, but we got to talk about the game of the week.
Got to talk about the game of the week, man.
Hey, we got Wilson and McQuaid.
7 p.m. at McQuaid.
At McQuaid on Friday night, right?
Right, man. Right.
It's gonna be a game that's gonna put one at the top of the list, and then we got to mention that U Prep East game.
Yeah,
because
man.
that game is going to tell the tale.
U Prep has really supplanted themselves and stomped themselves into this playoff hunt right now.
If they could pull out a win in these last 3 games,
Right.
they're going to shake up everything in City Catholic football.
Right. All the top dogs play each other in the next 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
So everything will get evened out, man. Really looking forward to them 2 games. I think U Prep plays East at the stadium, Marina Auto Stadium at 5 p.m. And then if you can, we're gonna have to, jump in that, get there and jump over their car and get over to Wilson McQuaid to see those guys play. But I mean, a lot of good football this weekend. A lot of good things that's going to shape out these playoffs, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Just go out there, guys. Good luck to everybody.
All right.
Stay healthy. Make some plays.
Right. Hey, man, thank you very much for watching the Playmakers podcast, episode 5. Again,
stay tuned. We got some big stuff coming.
Oh, whoa.
Stay tuned.
Listen, man, I wish we could talk about it. Right. But yes, stay tuned, man. Playmakers podcast, you're going to see us everywhere. We got some big things in the motion right now. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for everybody who's reached out to us, wanted to get on the show. Thank you for all the likes. Continue hitting that like button. Continue to share it. But we appreciate it a lot, man. We do this for the student athletes.
Definitely.
Right? So, like I was trying to say, this is episode 5 of the Playmakers podcast. Thank you very much. Do it, Derek Dyer and Maurice Jackson. Always like it on Facebook at Playmakers Podcast or at Playmakers NY. Thank you very much for your support. We working.
Thank you for listening to the Playmakers podcast, and stay on the lookout for future episodes. And be sure to like and follow the Playmakers podcast on Facebook. Brought to you by Fran82 Chai.